So I was looking on YouTube and I didn't see any videos of how to pull the top sieve out of a old new generation combine. So I'm doing that today. A couple weeks ago I went to go unloaded the combine into a guy's truck. I sell all the corn privately, I don't bring it to a mill. And a guy said, hey, something came out of the auger. And it was one of these louvers here, and I came back and I'm missing a whole section here. This one's disconnected. That one's popped off. So I think you can get these individually. It's the whole length all the way across. But they add up quick, and you can get a new sieve for basically the cost of, a handful of these. So I figured I'd just buy, a used sieve at least. So I found a guy selling one out of Illinois, I think, and so he shipped it out to me. This is it here in the back of the truck. Looks to be in good shape. There is a crack right here. I probably should have welded it at my house before I brought it down here, and I didn't, but I've only got like 5 acres left, so I'll run it, and then it's easy enough to pull out. I might pull it out this spring and re-weld it. So let's pull this thing out, and hopefully it doesn't fight us. So the first thing we're gonna do is pull these bolts out right here. There's only 2 of them. It's 3/4 bolt. Pop that one off. And one on the other side right here. Now, I think this should just slide right out. It's pretty straightforward. The only thing I'm a little worried about is I have a chopper on the back here, so I might have to angle it. Worst case scenario, the chopper will have to come off, but we'll see if we can manage without doing that, because it's cold as hell here. I bet you it's 15 degrees. So it was fighting me a little bit, so I wanted to make sure that it was only those 2 bolts you got to pull out, so I grabbed the tech manual here. This is it. 2 cap screws pull the traffer out, but you want to make sure the traffer is the rear stroke so it doesn't drop onto the sieve below it. So to check that, I had to fire it up and adjust it. Make sure that's all the way back. So I had to bump the PTO a little bit to get that to the right position. Maybe it'll come out a little easier now. It bunged on that side, I got that backed off. This side here, like I said, it's 15 degrees out, and I think it's frozen in there, so I'm gonna have to persuade it a little bit with that tire iron right there. So this side here is nice and free. That slides easy. But this side here is pretty well jammed in there. So what I'm gonna do, because I tried prying on it with a tire iron and that didn't really do anything. Not that there's anywhere to pry on anyway, that's part of the issue, but I got a ratchet strap hooked up to it on that side, and I got my pickup sitting here, and I'm gonna throw it in drive and hammer down. Is what I would like to do. But what I'm gonna do instead is just crank on the ratchet strap like so. See if I can get it to pop free. And it's not. That's getting tight. Huh. That is on there. So we're gaining on it. I got it moved about a foot out. I ended up, I was able to get the tire iron on the back frame right here and pry against the side of the combine. I did bend that a little bit, but I can bend it back. It's no big deal. Once I got it out far enough and I could get a hammer in here, hit on the back right here, and I was able to pop it free, and it's coming a little better now. The other thing I did too is I repositioned the ratchet strap. Instead of pulling from that D-ring there where we're straight back, I'm pulling from the side, the opposite side there, and it's kind of keeping it a little bit straighter. So that's working out pretty well. But there's ice all over the place here. I'm pretty sure it's just cold and frozen is all there is to it. I mean, I got the grain tank tarped, because it's not a shed queen. It stays outside year round, so there is, you know, ice and stuff building up in here. That's probably a good part of the issue, but it is coming. So another couple minutes, I'll hopefully have it out. So we got it out. This is cracked right here. I did weld this up last year. Obviously, it cracked again, and I think that's why I lost all these. I mean, this is just kind of thin wire that goes straight across, and that's how these are all connected. And I mean, I think with this thing shaking and whatnot, it just kind of eats through the rod, and then they start falling off, kind of like this here. I mean, you can see there's nothing holding any of these really. Wow, on this side here. So when these big sections are missing and you're not getting the right airflow through here, you're gonna get a lot of chaff in the grain tank, which on my last pass, I noticed I had more chaff in there than I usually do. And I had gelled up fuel filters before, so the combine wasn't running like 100%. So I thought I just didn't have the RPMs to spin the fan fast enough to clean the tank out. And like I said before, I was unloading into a grain truck, and the guy was like, "Hey, you got something came out of your auger there," and it was just a crumpled up louver. And I went back and looked, and I was missing a bunch of them, and those were all disconnected on that one side. So what can happen a lot sometimes is if your bushings are smoked, which these probably are. That one there's not awful, but one bushing, 2, 3, 4 down there. I believe there's 16 in total between both sides. These actually don't look bad, so I don't think that's the problem. I think they're just probably old and worn out. But if those bushings are bad, you're going to have it shaking a lot more than it should be, and that's going to start breaking stuff. So if you look back here onto this one here, there's a ton of cob that made it through that sieve. So I'm going to clean all this out. I kind of wish I had brought my blower, my leaf blower. I usually blow this out when I'm done. That'd probably help me clean this out, but no big deal. And I got to weld those up. This combine sat outside for quite a few years up at McFadden's auction where I got it from. So because it was outside as long as it was, I'm sure the elements weren't too kind to it and rotted it out more than it was. This combine came out of Ohio, I think, is what the dealer sticker said on it. So it made its way out to New York, and then now it's in Rhode Island. But so I'm going to clean this out before we put the top one back in. We'll go from there. So I got the lower sieve all cleaned out. There's a ton of cob in there, but louvers all look good. I bent a couple of them back and adjusted them, but should be good to go now. Put the top sieve back in, just slid right in, no problem. So I think the other one was definitely frozen in there because it did not want to come out. So all you do now is just take your 2 bolts, you pulled out, stick them back in, your door, and you're good to go, back in action. I would definitely recommend taking some penetrating oil and going over your louvers so that they open nice and easy. The other ones did not open that easily. You're fighting them every time. This is probably the same process as a 3300 John Deere. I mean, this is a 78 4400, so 33 is probably about the same. I can't speak for a 77 and a 66 because they're the bigger frame combines. It's probably pretty damn close, I would imagine. You get into the Titan 2s, I would say they're probably pretty damn close to this as well. 4420 is probably about the same too as this. I think they're basically the same combine. I could be wrong. But yeah, that's all there is to it.